You know what we're not going to say today?
Huh. You guys?
How did you know?
I don't know. Heard that once before. Don't mind me.
Jake stole my hat, so I won't be wearing my hat today, but I guess it didn't match anyways, so it's all good.
All right, well, it's the experimental show, folks. And it is Thursday, and we've got our words, which, to recap, mine, I've got them right here, water, full, and mellow. But we realized it was a typo, and in me thinking about waterfall, I couldn't come up with a superb idea, and I want to make a waterfall. So I'm going to be doing a mellow waterfall, and I'll draw it up for you here in a second. But what were your words?
Twinkled and sad. And I'm going to be sad.
What?
So I've got some cane for what I'm going to do, and twinkled, and I'll talk about mine, and you do yours, and I'll do mine, and I'll draw up mine.
That sounds great, folks. This is the experimental show. We are on live on multiple different channels today, here and now.
We have not practiced any of these.
Yeah, this is prototype experimental action. So this is pretty darn cool. We're gonna go over here and check out some of the pieces that we've done previously, just briefly, because now I think we're on show maybe 11 or 12 of the experimental show, show 12. So here you see we're setting up this beautiful display. This is show 9 here. I see my sign has reached the floor. But that's Jake, that's Michelle. I made this leaf replica from Leaf and Dry. Michelle made this beautiful ice cream cone with soft and blue. So that's pretty darn cool. And then coming down the line, we're gonna set the rest of this up from previous shows. We got a bunch of really cool products that we've made thus far, and we're gonna be making some more cool ones today. What do you think, Michelle?
I like that the labels are gonna be on them so that when we do the nail reveal, someone doesn't say, look at this cool prototype or whatever.
They know what it is.
Yes. Oh, and I thought of something really cool too for my feathers, but those are down the line.
All right. So,
I think we could both draw ours at the same time. What do you think?
yeah, I'm gonna draw mine up, and this is not just your ordinary waterfall. I want this to be a piece with wood. So what I'm gonna do, you can't blow wood, you can't put it on a pipe and blow it like it's glass, so I'm actually just going to do that after the fact. But my idea is if you've got a wall here, say this is your wall and you got maybe a couch here, let's see, couch, nice and cozy. And then above the couch you've got this little piece of wood right here like this. So I'm thinking like a 2x2 little nice piece of wood that mounts to the wall, and then I'm gonna make a piece of glass, a waterfall that you've got on the top here and then curls down over the wood and drips down to the ground. Nice and mellow and nice and watery. And then perhaps, depending on how it all goes together, it might be really cool to draw something around. If this is the front view, you're looking at the wall and here's the waterfall coming down, just like so, nice and mellow. And you got the piece of wood that it's bent over right here. I would love to have here on the wall some sort of drawing, which I haven't really thought about yet. It could be painting around it. It could be some trees right here. And then just a waterfall coming out of the wall in 3D form.
I think for every experimental show, we should get a free day that we get to finish the piece and make all the other parts.
I'd love to find a free day in the week.
They were selling them. I heard they're on special for Christmas.
Wow, that's rare.
Yes.
So that's my idea. You want to draw yours up or we want to make mine first?
Go ahead.
So take a look at this here. These are the 3 colors that I picked out. So we've got a blue chrome right here. We've got a watery, coppery, super tasty blue. And then you've got a little bit of white that I'm going to add on there as well. And so, Michelle, as you're bringing bits over, probably like thumb-sized bits, I'm going to squish them on thick on the top and drag them down thin. And we'll start with, I'm going to do a clear core, but
so then
I want less color, I want more water. So whenever you do whatever color you do on each one, hardly half, just a little tap on one side of each.
On one side.
Yeah. Yep.
I can do it.
All right, we're gonna do it here, folks. Again, this is the experimental show. It's 2,100 degrees in this furnace over here. So I'm gonna gather up some clear glass onto a solid pipe. It's not gonna be a blown piece. It's all gonna be solid. And with the experimental shows and the prototypes, I've found, and it's much better to do things small first. It's gonna get big fast, it's gonna get out of hand. So I'm starting really tiny. Michelle's bringing thumb size at max color bits, and we're just gonna build up that watery color. The other thing that I've thought about ahead of time is the way I'm gonna get the bend in that water. And so all I'm gonna do is after we put on each extra thing of color, I'm going to let it fall, hold it here, and let the tip fall over the side of the steel marver. That's gonna be my platform where I'll put the piece of wood underneath when we finish it up. Is it not turning? Okay. I think it just takes a second to kind of go. You just need to move slow and it'll follow. Working with the gimbal, folks, the robot arm.
Gimbal sounds like a person. Like, hey, Gimbal, how you doing? Good to see you.
My
today.
good friend Gimbal.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
So different than the show Blown Away, where they can take the highlights and really focus on those. You guys will see the whole piece being made.
This is just going to be the base, and I definitely thought about this piece and how it's going to go together in my brain, and we'll see how it works. I had quite a few ideas to think of. We're thinking about a bent, long, flat piece of glass, so I'm wondering how I can do that off of one turning rod. I think this is going to be the way. I'm going to break it off of the pipe at that crease later on. I'm going to take this right here and give it the old flat. I already know I went a little bigger than I should have. I'm gonna try and use watery. I mean, glass already, when it's moving, looks watery. So I'm gonna try and make this as clear as possible with just hints of those three blue colors that I had brought out there. Shall we?
Give me an idea of which way I'm bringing the bit.
It's gonna be over the top, and you can just leave it like a foot, like nice and round, because I'll squish it on and then drag it out like that. We'll slowly get it longer and longer.
I have to say, it's a little odd having a microphone.
Odd?
Yeah, like on you, like the cord, getting it wrapped in the pipe.
She's not used to it yet. 139 gathering point shows, and it's odd.
I know, but I'm not always blowing in them.
And I'm gonna do a little bit of altercation to this right now in order to get the length of these that I want, yes?
And the person blowing doesn't always have a mic.
I'm gonna lengthen that out a little bit.
So do you want me to pull them off the pipe at all? Do you want it just fresh gather?
Just fresh like that. However they go on, it's gonna be watery and good. Beautiful. Couple swirls up in here.
Can I do multiple gathers off a pipe?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And rotate the color each time?
Yeah, let's do like one of each color right now on the bottom, and then we'll just do a bunch of clear ones to cover that up and have the kind of color showing through the bottom, through the clear glass. It's really cool, and actually look up this up close if you can. You see that color and that shape's beautiful. When you look through it on this side, it's magnified almost double time because of the thickness of the glass. So that's what I'm gonna try and do as I overlay these colors, is get the magnification effect going on.
Sometimes I can't tell if you're talking to me or the camera, so.
Both.
Okay.
Look at how watery that is. Oh, yes. Woo-hoo-hoo. Couple more swirls for good watery measure. And the trick I'm realizing right now is going to be keeping this thing thin enough The more I layer it, the thicker and taller it's going to be. And then I'm going to get it long enough off. This is just going to be the base that's on the wood. I think the bend would be appropriate right here, so I'm going to keep adding them. I want it to have it probably this long, and then the bend will be right here over the piece of wood. Bloop. That was a nice mellow sound. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, when you think about going into the heat source here, the very end on the furthest of the pipe goes in first and comes out last.
Behind you. So start over with the colors?
Just go clear on these next few. I'll get back to that thought in a second here. So what I was saying is that this end's always going to heat up hotter. So I need to stabilize this and be happy with it, because if I want to get this hot enough to shape it anymore, that thing's going to be moving and flopping all over the place. Colors are starting to show a little bit. Give that a little marver. Perfect. Smoothie break.
Are we going to grab a new pipe, color or clear?
Clear. Just trying to think of what can make this look even more watery. Maybe another swirl or two. About a little dab of copper blue in this one.
That's the middle blue, correct?
Yes. So there's the bend that can start to happen right there. I'm going to get a little more girth on here. It's looking pretty waterfall-y.
The thing is, until this stuff is done, like, it's hard to judge.
Yeah.
You know?
Very true.
Good thing you went small.
What?
Do you know what I mean? Like your first patty is so clear, a color. What am I doing?
Let's do another clear one. Yeah, I thought I was going small too. Hope everybody's doing amazing out there today. We love interacting with you and talking on the Tuesday show, but we also love having a little bit of brain room left to go with these prototypes.
We can't see any of your comments. Today, it's strictly about the glass.
That's a nice watery one there.
Actually, today's the chamber event. And earlier today, Jake did a TV interview.
Yeah, it went really good.
So the day has been rolling.
Kind of looks like a beard or like a giant, like, Santa's beard, yeah. I'm gonna go for the bend now.
Oh, so stop?
Yeah, I think we're good. Would you mind moving your colors? Because I was gonna use that marber to bend it over. And then Sam, maybe right around on that side's gonna be the best angle. I'm gonna flop it right on there. Thank you, Mom. Nice and juicy, really letting it melt in good.
Do you need a paddle or anything? Whoa, I feel the whitewater raft happening.
It looks pretty good.
The waterfall, Amy.
I think I might want to do it a little further up.
Looks like a hand. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
It's tough heat here. Could you grab me the tag right there? Thanks. Can't really see it. Gotta open the door. This guy's big. It's not a small prototype. Mom, would you hold this here so I could take a look at it? Thanks. Oh, it's sturdy. Nice. Awesome. That's cool. I'm excited to see the colors because right now, especially that copper blue, thank you, looks really green. Thank you. All right. Well, that's it right there, folks. So the idea now is that when I knock it off, look at that. I love this side too. How it's not perfectly flat. You got a bulge here. It comes down, curls a little bit.
And it's waterful and mellow. So
it's
not
mellow.
like a gushing waterfall.
I thought about like a puddle underneath, make it separate and have water spurting everywhere, but that's not mellow.
Whoops. Do you need that other door?
Nah. But the idea is when I knock it off here, I'll cold work it, which means I'll take it to the diamond saw tomorrow when it cools down, and I will chop this perfectly flat right to where I want, which is probably going to be like right here. And that will go flush up against the wall. You got the wood right here underneath it.
I think it might be worth, I'm going to wait until you're done, but talking about some of the tools. And are you flashing again?
One more flash.
And walking by to see them, because there's a lot of finishing work. And we call it cold work.
Yeah.
You couldn't make this if we didn't have the right equipment.
Very true.
Right? So our ideas sometimes are dependent on the finishing work.
And that is finished on the blowpipe, but not a finished piece.
Are you just breaking it off in the annealer?
Yes.
Do you need tweezers?
I don't need to polish it at all because I'm going to be diamond sawing it and polishing it later. Right door?
Top, bottom.
Top. Red dot.
I know, red
Yeah,
feels
don't
like
touch
go.
it.
Somehow everyone's backwards from how I think.
Nice
Very
job, Mom.
nice.
Thanks.
Very nice. Sam's shaking her head. I think the gimbal's dying.
Oh.
Oh, Mr. Gimbal, we have to plug you in. We have not plugged him in?
Gimbal needs the love.
Should we switch to the other handset?
Poor Gimbler. I think it's working all right, though.
If it dies, you know. So if you guys are out there getting dizzy.
We got, yeah, we don't need anybody getting dizzy. That was pretty cool. I like that. It turned out a little bit better than I was thinking, which is not usually the case. So I'm happy with that. And it's going to take a little extra work. And kind of what Michelle said at the beginning there is we would love to have a full day where we can come in and just do this stuff and work on it. But we're having a blast doing everything else in the shop. I don't really have extra time to sit around and just make artwork right now, but I will someday very soon. And I'm very excited for it.
Well,
that's part of what this show's about, is
that's what,
getting us time to do this and make cool stuff that we've never done before.
and if you are a local customer, you'll notice our hours are shorter, so that allows us the time to do this work.
Precisely.
Okay.
So what's your words again?
Twinkle, sad.
Sad twinkle.
So.
And what's the plan?
Plan is not, it's a sad thing.
Oh no.
So it kind of bums me out. So we're in Michigan, and you've probably all heard there's been a shooting. And so that's perfect for the sad part of my thing. The shooting was, today's Thursday, was it Tuesday? It was Tuesday, which is ironic because when I pulled these words, twinkle made me think of star. So I do want to do some sort of star.
Nice star.
And then the sad, when I heard it Tuesday, when I had my word, I was just like, sad.
Oh.
So he's deflated. I wasn't facing you guys, but that's my deflated,
Sad deflated star.
Yeah, like twinkle twinkle little star or stars. And then originally I was thinking like when Christmas lights are like the gimbal's dying, like ooh.
Yeah.
So it was like twinkling. And Sam, wheel over here. These are threads of glass. I know we've been using a lot on our snowmen. It's how you kind of draw on the glass. So I just wanted to show there's all sorts of colors and sizes and shapes. So I'm going to take
I like
just
that orange.
3 over just to see, have a little play. So the star, I'm going to use the corks. These are from my friend Charlie Carell. These are from 1991. To give you an idea, they are cork, literally cork that you make wine corks out of. You could see they're kind of wore out. You squash the glass and it won't leave chill marks on it. And so this, I've used these for many years. It's one of my favorite tools, not only because it smells good, but I like how the finished pieces turn out because of it. So we're gonna squash the glass. My goal is to make it puffy, like so that. And then I'm debating of like cutting out sections or just pulling up tips. So I'm not 100% certain how this is going to play out.
The only thing I'd say about cutting it is that you'll have lines on the inside where the color was cut. So, you know, like if you look in the crevice, there'll be a line coming up all the way to the tip where the cut mark was.
So I could also do something where I make a sun disk and then I draw the star shape on it. So let me think. We're gonna flatten it. Then we're going to, so if I've got a flat globe here, we'll torch a tip. And then have you ever seen a cold punny when you pull up? So let's try that.
A cold punny?
Yeah, you make like a punny, and then because my area will be hot, you stick it to the hot, and it's going to pull it up.
Yeah, okay.
So it doesn't have to be like perfect star. It just needs to be a star.
And we're doing it about like this big?
And then I wonder, puntying is going to be a little tricky too, because if you punty it on a tip, it's really, so we'll pull one tip a little stubby, so I can punty on that tip.
Do we have to be putting in the tip, or can we, I mean, if you blow it out, we're doing it like a disc. You just leave the pipe connection on the backside and break it off. We can just do the whole thing facing forward.
There's too many moving parts on this. Let's just start.
Well, if we blow it, I mean, if we don't have to punny it up, that's one less moving part.
Well, here's the pipe, and it's around like this, and
But-
we pull these little tips out.
Right.
How do I not pull? I mean, I've got to finish that.
Yeah, I was thinking you do it like this. You could do
Well,
it.
wait a second. Maybe I could. Maybe that's how we display it. It goes on a rod.
It could go on a rod. I was just saying you make the disc like this. Then we pull out each tip.
Oh,
each
like
tip.
Dad just did the snowflake? No, too hard for me.
Okay.
Too
right.
hard for me. I don't mind if it's off the punny. 'cause
Yeah,
then
it's
that
cool. Put it
leaves
on a rod, it's
hole.
cool.
Yep, and then it can sit upright. Like, oh, where's our little flags?
Oh, yes.
So it would sit upright like that.
Yeah. That's the opposite of what we're making. Applause. I love that one.
Okay.
All right, sounds great. Let's do it. Take a look at these colors, Sam. She's got her sun star colors out here. Pretty darn cool. 3 types of yellow. That's a brilliant transparent yellow. This is like a sunflower yellow, and then this is like a rubber duck yellow. She's going to be combining all 3 of them there in some manner. Very cool. And she's taking the gather. She's on a blowpipe, so she's got clear glass.
I love it. It sounds like a tennis event. She's at the line, folks.
And she's got about a ping pong size ball. I just played some, what?
Remember, Craig, this is about a quarter cup.
Quarter cup. I just played some ping pong last night. It was
Oh, yeah,
a pretty
you
good
did.
time. Yep, against Uncle Israel.
I've got a cup of glass.
That's one of the
Love it.
trickiest things about glass blowing that a lot of new glass blowers need to learn and learn over time is that there's no measuring stick or measuring cup for the amount of glass you use. And when you're trying to replicate something or do a prototype and make something to your exact dimensions and size that you envisioned, you got to have the wherewithal and the hands to take a gather from the furnace the size that you want. And I was working with Brandon, one of our assistants this morning, and I taught him a couple new tricks to do that, and that really helped him along.
Whatever happened with the pear? Did the pear materialize?
Nope.
So we had a customer who was asking about a pear, but so specific that it just got out of our realm that it was like, nah, we can't make that.
Yeah. We always say with every custom order we do, there's 30% room for artistic interpretation and 30% artist choice. Because when we're making it, we know what works well together. We know how things go together with glass and what colors are going to work together. And even if you might have the most beautiful idea drawn up in your head, you are purchasing from artists. And we want to have a say in what we're making. We're not just craftspeople. We're not just making replicas from back in the 1800s. We are making art pieces. Bench blow?
No.
All right. So she's got a bubble in there. She's starting to shape it up now. This is where she's picking her size, and by choosing her size, she's also changing the thickness of the glass. So it's very important that she knows how much glass she has. If she went for double that size, this thing would be thin, and it would probably be really difficult to control.
It's so hard for me. You got to go slow.
You got to.
Slow. Because I want it thick enough that I can pull those points out.
It's a totally different mindset working on the experimental show compared to the gathering point or compared to a regular day in the hot shop. When we're making work, we're having a blast, we're putting our effort and our love into each piece, but there is a sense of you want to keep moving, the holes on, you're using utilities, you're using glass, so you want to keep some speed to what you're doing. When you go into art land right here and you're making prototypes and we're designing work right now, you just can't be speeding along. It's about the process. You've got to indulge in that and realize that you're spending money no matter what. So have a good time with it and make sure it comes out how you want it. Is
None
it
of
coming
that
out
has
how you
crossed
want it?
my mind. So what I'm thinking is, if you've done the corks with me before,
I have.
Okay.
Do you want to cork it?
Kind of, I do.
All right.
That's what I was thinking about.
Gotcha.
Okay, so he's gonna bring it out, not super hot and floppy, but he's gonna let it fall.
As hot as possible.
And then flip it so that I can cork it.
And I'm also going to cap the end of the pipe so that the air doesn't leave. If the air could release from this, like if you untied a balloon, it would completely close and flatten up on itself and be one solid piece of glass. So I'm going to trap that air in there so that she can give it the old squish down and it won't cause problems.
Oh my gosh, such good memories.
Another heat?
No.
Or is it looking good?
No, bring it back. I feel like it's good. So next is the torch.
So you see that thickness because I had it capped. She could have squished it twice as hard and had it go twice as thin and wide, but it never would have closed on itself.
Will you just flash it and bring it to me? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's going to be an easy tip. Those are harder. This will be the hardest.
So I'm going to
hold
make a little
plenty.
punny. You want it on one of the mini pipes or a regular one?
Regular. So I'm working with the balance of it right now. I can only do one at a time, but
How's that for thickness?
yeah. It's too hot, so just you
Too
can roll
hot.
the tip. Yeah. See, I'm wondering.
Do we keep it cold so that you don't put any clear into it, or what's?
No, watch. Straight up. The goal is to pull the arm. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Except that I'm really thin.
Super thin, paper thin.
How about bring me to repair on Mr. Star?
Repair on the sad star.
Bring me a gathered glass. We'll do them with clear points.
Okay. I got some bubbles in that one. How's this for size?
Yeah. Should
I'll
I
let
have
it stiffen
said-
up a bit.
Yeah. Should I have said? Boy, I don't even know what would be that size. Walnut?
So when I say I'm going to stiffen it up a little, I'm shaping it up here, but this mostly right now is about letting the metal pull heat from the glass. And now it's going to be way more manageable. She's going to be able to cut it the way she wants with maybe the straight shears.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Boom. So
Hello,
that's point
Miss
number
Bridget.
1. She's giving it the tweezer pull.
Yes. Hello.
Hey,
You're
hey.
looking very nice and pink. I'm making a twinkle star.
For the local folk, the gallery opens here at 4 o'clock, which is in just about 3 minutes. That's Dearborn, Michigan time.
Keep them coming.
And
Same.
keep 'em
I need
coming.
4 more. So one. So yeah, there's a logistics of what happens in your brain versus what is actual.
So I'm going to try and bring these bits as identical as possible so that
Because
she's working.
now,
What?
I was thinking 5, but now that we're doing this, it's like it could be 10. It could be, you know what I mean? are not made for women's hands.
Two star points. Coming in with number 3.
Looks like 2 little legs.
The star could just walk away if he was feeling happy.
We have a little buzzer on our door. So every time someone walks in, we're like, who's there?
The placement of 5 points on a star is actually kind of difficult to have them all come out. It's just like making our snowflakes. When you're doing things by hand, splitting things up by 6 all the way around a circle isn't such an easy task. What I'm doing over here in the behind the scenes is I'm cutting off the extra clear glass, saving the pipe that I'm using, and then gathering more hot clear glass right on top. Saves me from cutting off, from chucking new pipes, and saves a little bit of glass by chucking it back into the clear bucket so we can remelt that tonight.
Chucky? Did you say Chuck?
Chucky is a good guy. Good guy, Chucky.
So we're doing a monster show in January.
Cat is out of the bag.
I thought we told people.
I don't know. We're gonna have a pretty sweet show coming up in January, folks.
And this is just giving me a little ideas monster-wise.
One final star coming in.
Yep.
It kind of looks almost like it belongs on the beach.
He looks like he's doing jumping jacks. It's like those back ones, his legs a little funny. Un momento.
This little guy. Poor sad fella.
It is. It kind of like doing that thing.
That
Flip.
thing.
Flip. Where they, your hands, like when you're like, hey, like at a rock concert. You know.
Nice.
Yeah, except it looks like legs. It looks like he's jumping up, like, ah!
This would be a beautiful garden piece on a nice steak.
I don't eat steak.
Steak? When was the last time everyone out there had a steak? Even better, when was the last time you cooked a steak yourself? I would love to see that in the comments, folks.
Okay, so
It's been
I like
over a year
those
for me.
3. This guy, I don't know what to do about him.
What? Don't neglect him.
Well, I want to bend him down.
Mm.
So, but I don't think that's going to happen.
That's for the same reason I was telling with the waterfall. If she goes to give it a super heat and wants to heat up just that guy, all these 3 are going to get even hotter before she gets enough heat on the back end to move it. So anything on that back offset spot is pretty much set in stone there.
Okay, so basically the way it's on the pipe is an easy way to visualize this.
So now we got to get a face on it.
Yeah.
It looks like a turtle almost.
It said twinkle. What was the word?
Twinkle.
Twinkle. Like past tense.
It twinkled.
It twinkled. All right, so.
So now I'm going to be babysitting this, keeping it warm and keeping it as on center as possible. Meanwhile, Michelle is going to choose which side she wants to put this face on.
Other side.
This
That
side.
side.
I'll take one more flash.
Yeah, because this is thick. So.
Okay, you want it on that side, so I'm gonna let this fall. Here we go. You want me to tap them and squish them down, or you want them bulbous?
Well, I think this is too thick. I'm gonna start with the eyes. You can tap it down. I think this is too thick. I won't be able to heat this whole rod for the mouth.
Right.
So,
Look at those little eyeballs.
okay, so that's that.
Oh. Here comes the mouth, folks. See her work the magic. This looks like a tobacco brown. She's giving it the full length heat. So you see how it was too thick. She needs to keep even heat upon the full length here so she can lay it down and have it bend and not just break. So we're starting to see some motion in that. She's gonna stick it. That's right, it's not a smiley face, it's a frown. So now she's heating up higher, bending it down. Beautiful, look at that. Very clean.
Joey would be proud.
Joey would be proud.
Wait, stay there.
Oh,
It's
the
a
tear.
Let me touch the design up a little.
Now I do suppose if the stake is where the rod is, he's gonna be upside down.
Did I just do it upside down? Are you serious? I did. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Now he's really sad. He's like getting shook out.
What the heck, Jake? You gotta help me here.
I'm just the old mirror assistant.
All right, will you push down the mouth slightly? I'm just the mirror assistant. Well, you know what's so interesting about that? It looks better this way. It doesn't look like legs.
Right. Yeah.
So now
So I wonder if we could you knock it off and we could put like a little hat on him or something. Right on the funny mark.
Bring it out. Let me think about this.
I mean, if we made a hat on the side, we can knock him in the vermiculite and then just
I just like
stick a
mixed
hat on there.
medium, too.
He could be a flask. You could put a plant in him. You could fill him up with water.
Oh, he's sad. All right,
Poor guy.
we can break it off on the table and towards the top.
Okay.
Yes.
You want it from me or you want me to knock it off?
You can knock it off. I'll untangle the snake. How do you guys function during the day doing this? It worked out better that way because the ones at the top look like little arms.
Oh, he's a little sad little fella with one tear. Check this out. Nobody's ever seen claws this clean. I just re-cleaned these claws up.
May I get the door for you, sir?
Come here, you little slippery fella. Got him.
Easy now, easy. We got product that we made in there today. So very gently he puts it in there.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Interesting.
Awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta think about that now. Maybe he'll sit in a bucket of sand or something because he's a sun.
Yeah.
He's twinkled like he got sunburned. We have to write stories. This is how the creative process rules. You don't come up with that book the first time you write it. You
That's
don't come
the
out
truth.
with anything.
You
right?
definitely toy with it a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna prop the camera up here. I'm gonna close this door, folks. This door and the furnace door. Because that's how you lose
Wait, I think Jake said he wasn't going to say folks.
extra energy. I didn't say anything about folks. Folks
You
is
did.
completely a great word everybody loves. Super
Oh,
cool.
It was you guys.
That's right. So, folks, thanks for watching the show, the experimental show. Spontaneous started.
Combustion.
And I'm super excited. There's not a lot of back end work. I just got a diamond saw on mine, and then I got to get a piece of wood, glue a piece of wood onto it, and put a couple holes so you can hang it on your wall. And I think it's going to be a really cool multimedia finished product for me. Any final steps for you on yours?
Yeah, so we do want to say throw in words, 4 words. Emotional words are hard, like sad, that was a kind of a tough one. So
I like them.
Throw in 4 words, whatever
Yeah.
you want. Throw in all the emotion words. Jake will pluck those out of the basket. I like
Where do you
words.
throw them in?
They put them in Facebook. If you comment,
Or any
4 words.
any app, right?
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Any app you're watching, we review it, and so put your 4 words in. It could be round, it could be sunny, descriptive
Any
words.
4 descriptive words, and at the end of our Tuesday show, we pull those words, 2 each, and we make it on Thursday. That's what we did today. That was show number 12, and we're going to be doing many more.
Thank you, everyone. Happy holidays.